Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
The Philadelphia 76ers fall against the Atlanta Hawks 127-117 in Atlanta. And what else can we say, man? The Sixers move to 9-16 now on the road, 31-18 overall, and 6th in the Eastern Conference. It's just not cutting it, man. Another game, man, against a bad team, and the Sixers come out with lackluster energy. I mean, at this point, I feel like I have the formula figured out. I literally have the formula figured out. You guys study for tests. You memorize different equations and formulas. I have it figured out. This is one thing where I have the formula figured out. The Sixers, they go hard against good teams. They come out with energy. They're excited. They're hyped up. They're amped up for the atmosphere, the surroundings, the television, everyone covering the game. But when they go out and they play a team like the Atlanta Hawks, who comes into this game with 11 wins, the Atlanta Hawks, who pretty much has one main scorer in Trae Young, who's an all-star, and don't get me wrong, he's had an excellent season. But the Atlanta Hawks are limited in a bunch of ways. They don't have a lot of experience outside of a guy like Vince Carter. And the Sixers come in here and let them run all over them. They said, we're going to protect our home court, man. Sad. The Sixers can't get up for these kind of games, and their coach continues to not really do anything. Boy, I mean, the way you could just see from the beginning of the game, the Sixers, it was just another one of those games that I feel like at this point it's a broken record. The Sixers come out lackluster, mediocre. You can tell the Atlanta Hawks were moving the pace. They were ready to go from the jump. The Sixers come out. Ben Simmons, man, he came out of the gate with that look. The look that I talk about. The look in Ben Simmons' eyes where he cannot be stopped. He is like a one-man freight train, and anyone that gets in his way is getting knocked over. Ben Simmons came out of the way that game, but don't worry, because, you know, some games Ben Simmons forgets how to play in the second half. Or maybe he just stops trying. Maybe there's no discipline on this team. I don't know. It's very confusing to me. When we play good teams, Ben Simmons comes out and he's a horse. He's a tiger. No one can stop him. Ben Simmons, don't let his numbers fool you. He had a pretty good game, but it was more so in the first half. He literally did not show up in the third quarter, and he got some junk time, free throws in the fourth quarter. Ben Simmons, you got to be better, man. You got to keep this up for the whole game. Ben Simmons, I know the talent you have, man. I know the will that you have to be great in this game, but sometimes it just doesn't seem like it. You can't go out and have an amazing performance a few games back against the LA Lakers and come out against the Atlanta Hawks, start so great, looking like you have all the energy and the will in the world, and then just forget about it after two quarters. You cannot do that. Sixers, man. I don't know what to say. It's the same old thing at this point. If you look at the numbers here, Tobias Harris, 21 points. Joel Embiid, 21 points. Not enough. We'll get to Embiid in just a few minutes. Ben Simmons, 31. Like I said, the man doesn't shoot. But Ben Simmons, a minus 13 in this game. The worst for the Sixers. Matisse Thybulle, 3. Shake Milton. I talked about him in my last video with the Sixers, man. This kid was inserted into the starting lineup against the Lakers. They said, we're going to throw you in against LeBron and AD. And he's done nothing but show up. Shake Milton has been one of the brightest spots of this offense for the past few games. Shake Milton is on his stuff. 8 for 10 from the line. 5 for 9 from three-point range. This is Shake Milton, who wasn't even in the rotation a month ago. This is Shake Milton. Do you know who that is? Shake Milton. His name is Shake. When Shake Milton is pretty much your best offensive scorer of the night, when he's the guy that you have to rely on, and you have guys like Tobias Harris on this team, you have guys like Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid on this team, and you're relying on Shake Milton to get you a bucket in crunch time, that's sad. That is very sad. The bench. Mike Scott was having a good game. He played decent, 11 points off the bench, But some of these other guys, man, you got to step up. First off, James Ennis. I don't know what has happened to him, whether Brett Brown thinks he's in decline, whether he's bored. I don't know. But James Ennis only played 6 minutes tonight. But how about Raul Neto? 20 minutes tonight. But guess what? In those 20 minutes, you know how many points he scored? 0. Not good enough. Inconsistent. Furkan Korkmaz, a guy who this team really relies on to shoot the ball well. He's one of the main shooters on this team. A guy we didn't expect to come into the season like he did, but he's been firing on all cylinders. 21 minutes played in 0 points, a -10. That cannot happen. Zaire Smith, a -13 in 9 minutes? A -13. Zaire Smith, I mean, it's just bad. Trey Burke doesn't even play. O'Quinn doesn't play. I mean, the last time I saw these guys play, they were putting in some decent minutes, but no. We switch up the rotation around here. That's what Brett Brown does. Inconsistency. I mean, I saw guys out of position tonight. I know Brett's been trying to get more creative with the playbook. Embiid wasn't even in the post tonight, really. He was outside, and a lot of people are arguing that Joel Embiid needs to be in the post. You know, that's kind of, you know, the cream of his crop. That, like, Joel Embiid can pretty much out-big man anyone inside, one-on-one. I'd say almost anyone in this league, but I've been saying personally that we need to kind of formulate our offense more like the Bucks do with Giannis, how Simmons running the fast tempo, all the shooters spread out wide on the floor. But I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm really starting to think this more. I don't know if we can do it. I don't know if Simmons and Embiid can continue to play together. It's like when Embiid's not there, Simmons, it's his show. He runs the floor. He speeds up the offense, the transition. I mean, we still won the fast break game tonight by a lot. But it's like when Simmons comes down the court and he has Embiid chugging down there, hands on his knees, tired, you know, huffing and puffing. It's like, I don't know what to do, man. Simmons, I don't know, man. I don't know if he needs his own show or not. I really don't. But, like, the more I see this, the more it's going to get talked about, and it has been getting talked about. Can Brett find a way to work these guys together? I know Al Horford didn't play tonight. That definitely was a big detriment to the Sixers. I mean, we didn't really have another big man coming in off the bench. But Joel Embiid, 21 points is not good enough for 35 minutes. You heard Shaq and Chuck earlier in the season. Joel, you have to be one of the best big men in the game because you are. 21 points is not going to cut it. You are Joel Embiid. If we're looking at the Atlanta Hawks, if we're looking at, you know, their biggest man on the court being John Collins, I mean, he's not too big of a guy. He's lean. He's strong. He throws down acrobatic dunks. John Collins played 34 minutes this game. 17 points. But how about this? 20 rebounds. Joel Embiid, 14 rebounds in this game. Out-rebounded by John Collins. I mean, if you look at the numbers for the starters, every guy for the Hawks in their starting lineup was in double digits. Collins, 17. Hunter, 15. Damian Jones, 14. We'll get to Trae Young in a second. Huerter had 12. Trae Young, 39 points and 18 assists and 6 rebounds. Trae Young is getting 6 rebounds in a game. You know what that shows? Lack of hustle, lack of heart. Trae Young, 6 rebounds. It said he was like the 6th guy all time to have 37 points, 18 assists, and 6 rebounds in a game. That can't happen. They're out there playing lackadaisical, nonchalant because it's the Hawks. It's not a good team. We have the formula figured out. And Trae Young is out there shooting from who knows where, doing whatever the heck he wants. I mean, Trae Young pretty much looked to me like a freaking, I don't know, like Steph Curry tonight. I mean, Trae Young has a lot of potential, and like I said, don't get me wrong, he's had a great season. He deserves to be an all-star in my opinion. Even, you know, carrying this team, they only have 12 wins, and he's putting up numbers like this, performances like this. He's still coming out every night and playing hard. But if you're the Sixers and you want to be a solidified playoff team, if you want to show the world that, you know, this is going to be a team to contend with down the stretch, you just cannot drop games like this. And it's just every single night. I mean, obviously I haven't made, you know, a video about every game, but it's like, it's the same thing with this team. They beat the good teams. They come out with heart. They really play up to their opponent. They really go out every single possession and make it feel like a playoff atmosphere. But, you know, when they're playing a regular Thursday night against the Thunder, when they're playing a Tuesday night against the Knicks, it's a nail-biter, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Atlanta Hawks, 127 points. I mean, both teams didn't, like, it's not like the Hawks shot a whole bunch better than the Sixers. They shot 48% from the field, Sixers 46. Sixers shot 29% from three. That cannot happen. We know this team isn't, a great three-point shooting team, but 29% cannot happen. Hawks only had a 31% from the three-point range. Free throws. Sixers had 45 free throws tonight. 45. Let me repeat that, 45, which is well above their average. And they only hit 32. 71% from the line as a team on 45 free throws. They missed 13 free throws. They lose the game by 10. I mean, there it is right there. You can't not take what you're given in this game. We all know once you keep a lower opponent in the game, they're going to work hard and they're going to take advantage of that. You cannot miss 13 free throws if you're the Sixers when you get 45 in a game. The Hawks went 32 for 37. The Hawks didn't miss easy opportunities. I mean, the hustle game, the Hawks had more assists. The Sixers had more steals. The blocks were close. I mean, if you look at it, it really wasn't too far apart. The Hawks, I saw in the third quarter, they were starting to pull away, and then the Sixers made a little run. Shake Milton was going off. Like I said, he had 5 3-pointers tonight. Shake was pretty much the main scorer that I relied on tonight. And it's just like, we bring it to within, I think, 5 to end the third quarter, and we're on a run, and then we just give it right back up. Like, where is the energy? Where's the enthusiasm? A couple minutes into the fourth, we're down 14, and it's like we're clawing our way back. Going late into the stretch of the game, it's like the Hawks are giving us so many freaking opportunities. We're going bucket for bucket for bucket. I mean, I'm seeing the Sixers trap guys like Trae Young in the back court, and they don't even go for the ball. 2 of them come up to double team, and they just put their hands up and let Trae Young call a timeout. Obviously, he's a little guy. He's not going to get the pass over you. But, I saw guys try to come up and trap. For once, Embiid was actually coming up on the screens. That's been one of the biggest flaws this year. Embiid does not know how to play defense with screens. He does not know how to roll. He does not know how to switch. Embiid was actually coming up and rushing the guy with the ball, which was usually Trae Young because they would target Embiid. He was actually coming up, but it's like as soon as the guy gets past him, he's like all out of breath. He's all out of energy, and he just puts his arm out, foul. I don't know. They just looked outworked. They looked more tired than the Hawks did. They just didn't have the energy, the enthusiasm that we know they come out with against good teams. And it's as simple as that. I mean, nothing was too far apart in this game. The Hawks, 2 guys off the bench in double digits. One of them's Vince Carter. How old is he now? 78? I mean, the guy's still outworking pretty much everyone on the Sixers. That cannot happen. Man. I don't know what else to say. I mean, you're losing the lineups like this. You tell me that you're, going to be a championship contending team. It's ridiculous at this point. And I'm not saying the Sixers are done. Obviously, they're not done. I want to see what happens going into the playoffs. They can beat good teams. But against teams like this, what if we get into the first round and we play a team like this and they go on to beat us 4-1 because we're not coming out with as much energy? I don't know. I'm just saying hypothetically. Man, you got to win games like this. There's no excuse. You can't tell me that Brett doesn't prep these guys. I don't know if it's Brett that's the problem. I don't know if these guys get bored and they try to go into their own little zone because they feel that they're not playing good competition. So they're like, yeah, I'll do whatever I want. I don't know. Ben Simmons can't disappear in the second half. You can't let Trae Young out here like it's a practice facility shooting whatever he wants, getting whatever he wants. Trae Young is the smallest guy on the court and he's outworking people. Sad. Joel Embiid, you can't get out-rebounded. You can't let John Collins have 20 rebounds on you. He's huffing and puffing, all out of shape, man. I don't know if these guys can play together. I don't know. Guess we'll look at it more as we go down the stretch. Shake Milton, 27. Shake Milton. It's just crazy to me how the dynamic of this team, sometimes it's the complete opposite of what we thought coming into the year. We thought coming into this year, this team would not be able to shoot a lick, and their defense was going to be one of the best of all time. Oh, this is the first team ever with every guy in the starting lineup above 6'8". These guys are going to have length. They're going to have height. No one is going to get in the paint on Al Horford and Joel Embiid. Well, look how that's working out for you. You got the Hawks putting up 127 on you. And surprisingly, the bench, who we thought would definitely need help throughout this season, I mean, obviously they do, but they've been a lot better than we thought. You know, Thibault and Korkmaz, even Neto once in a while. The starters, I mean, Tobias, you got to be more consistent, man. 6 for 15, 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. Not cutting it, man. Not cutting it. Embiid, not cutting it. It's just sad, man. Some nights, you know, this defense is nowhere to be found. It's usually against the bad teams, and the offense comes out. And I don't know. Some nights we can't handle it. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. At this point, it's a broken record. It's the same exact thing I just keep on saying, man. When are we going to come out and play against the bad teams? Just like we do against the good teams. I mean, we go out, we beat the Bucks by 15, 20. We go out, we beat the Lakers by 17. We put on a show against LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Now you can make the argument that it's home versus the road. We're 9-16 on the road and we're 22-2 at home. I'm confident in this team defending the Wells Fargo Center. But I don't care. If you're on the road against a 10-win team, you cannot lose a game like this. That's what it comes down to. Out-hustled, out-coached. Where's the energy going to come from? Where's the creativity? Where's the style? Who is going to step up and be the leader on this team? Some nights like this, you just don't know. Guys come out in the first half, they disappear. Guys get, go off when it doesn't matter late in the fourth quarter. I don't know. The season's not over. These guys are talented. They have it in them. But can Brett Brown be the guy to bring it out and put it all together? I don't know, man. We'll see. We got Boston up next. 3-0 against them on the year, which is a first. We usually get destroyed by Boston every year. We're going for the season sweep, man. I'm excited. I'm fully expecting the Sixers to come out and play like the playoff team they do against the Bucks and the Lakers on Saturday night. We'll be covering it here on the channel. Let me know down below what you think of the Sixers going forward, and let me know your thoughts of the game tonight. Leave a like, subscribe, man, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect.